Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Legacy of Stramdex, where we last left our party. They all were done trapped by a good old Ansip who got real fucking torn up by him and went, fuck this shit, I'm out. They found a piece of Sickbore, the magical blade that's able to kill a being's entire soul with a single swipe. And now they're trapped in
And
this
someone
fucking
pricked their
spot. Huh?
and someone pricked their finger with it.
Yeah. That is correct. Someone did prick their finger with it.
Thankfully, it just cut him. It didn't steal your soul.
It did not kill his soul. No, Sickboard does not steal souls. It destroys souls. It is a force of not entropy but vacuum.
That's terrifying. I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, it's a very scary sword. It was forged for one purpose and one purpose only.
I'm gonna roll a fucking nat 1, and I know what you're gonna be. Yup, you stabbed yourself. Goodbye.
No. Because here's the thing. Feed Black Edge rolled a nat 1 with the sword, and it broke. So, let's get a real quick vibe of what's going on. You guys have just gotten out of this great big fight. You're in this kind of dark room that was once glowing from this big fucking slab with this insignia on it, which is now not glowing. The entire room is, I'd say it's low light. There's a bunch of dust and rubble that's settling. This is probably about maybe like 30 seconds after the explosion. Grellin is getting up off of his ass. Johan, you got thrown the farthest because you were in the radius of the explosion. They were just in the radius of the impact of all of the rubble. So yeah, you got thrown towards the back half of the room. Heracles, you're the only one who wasn't affected by this whole issue, because you were standing at the front of the thing, looking at the other thing.
Wasn't I too?
Thing, duh.
No, you were down here as well. Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
I gave
pushed back
up
with
after
Contra.
I gave up after I threw the holy water, and it turned into spooky water.
Yeah, it turned into unholy water. So, let's get a real quick check. What's everyone doing right now?
Probably lighting.
Lighting a torch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do something for that too. Where is it?
Grellin's like, oh, fuck. Oh, that was not what I wanted to happen. As he's like dusting himself off.
Interesting. This thing seems to be made of pure evil.
Excellent. You cast dancing lights. What does your dancing lights look like?
They look like erratic little balls of energy that are barely being contained. They're like little spark, almost like if you took the end of a sparkler as it was going.
Are they colorless? Are they multicolored?
They're white with the blue on the edges.
Okay.
Oh,
nice.
hey, I can cast daylight. I think I'll do it now.
Nice.
I think I'll eat it now.
So you cast daylight?
Yes.
Nice.
As an inherent thing.
Nice.
Just
what does it radiate from?
It's going to radiate from my glorious right hand.
I just finished lighting the torch and look around as daylight fills the room. Like, oh, okay, put it back out.
It's emanating from his right palm.
How far out does it go?
Do I have? I don't actually.
I know 5e it's 60 feet, but I don't know about 60 and 60, 60 bright, 60, but I don't know about 3.5.
60 feet, 60 dim. Well, that would basically be the entire room, so.
Yeah. We'll just assume that for right now, and then if we need it for an actual tactical purpose, we'll look at it again later. I'll give a mulligan for right now.
Essentially, a really, really bright flashlight turns on behind you.
Yeah.
Sorry, hope it didn't blind anyone.
Cypher's eyes do that cat thing when you turn the light on. Where
Nice.
the pupils are just barely little slits.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's
okay.
this thing radiating pure evil. I know we should probably get out of here before we run out of air, but evil.
I don't think that the seal is airtight.
You mean I could probably use my head to move some of the rope?
What do you mean? Use your head, like be smart, or?
I don't know. What do I?
I think you mean the other way, in which case I'm going to say not even your thick head is going to stand against Rebel.
That's fair. Roll a perception check. Or, search for a way out of here.
Okay. That would be a search check.
I guess I should help with that.
Ooh!
Nice.
Well,
So,
And the crits just keep rolling
Alright.
for Gunner.
hey.
I guess I'll do a search, but no, I
Go
don't
for
really
it.
need. There's no traps in them at this point.
Right.
I'm going to go over here and do some history.
Okay. So, Heracles, with your search check, you take a look around the room, you point your sunlight towards different areas. Good news and bad news, Heracles. The good news is, A, everything is structurally sound, and B, there do appear to be slits that go out that serve as ventilation to somewhere. You're not sure where, but they appear to be slits in the ceiling. And upon further examination, maybe you stood kind of at the right spot below one. It feels like a light breeze is coming from them. Bad news. Yeah. Bad news. You can't find a goddamn way out of here. This front entrance is so horribly caked with rubble. And there's no other way out of here. This area was built with a single entrance and exit. Not up to fire code.
If you look to your right, you will see the glowing exit sign on your way out. Yes. So Heracles
There's a fire door, but we can't use it because we don't want to set off the alarm.
Right. So Heracles is going to look up and say, well, after using my head, I have deduced that we won't be running out of air anytime soon. However, we also don't have a way out that isn't covered in rubble.
Interesting.
Reminds me of this time I was trapped in this pit in Egypt. He's just making Ren start going off on a rant.
Where in the hell is Egypt?
Yeah, that's probably what distracts me from my history check. I'm like, Egypt, what?
Yeah. Yes, I was stuck in this pit. A rival of mine, we were probably, how do you say, relic thieves or relic hunters. I got locked in this pit full of snakes, and they closed the pit on top of me.
It's always gotta be snakes, doesn't it?
I hate snakes. Why'd it have to be snakes?
That moment when Heracles is secretly breaking the fourth wall.
I always thought that one good thing is it's like when you're looking at people who don't break character, it's like wrestlers with kayfabe, Disney employees who are in costume, face characters, and then really good D&D players who instead of breaking character just incorporate outside of character into character.
By the way, if anybody's even going to try and sense motive or anything like that, he's completely BSing all.
Oh, of course. No, of course. There is no place named Egypt, and snakes aren't real.
No, of course not.
Snakes were invented by the what country
are we living on Ireland?
Yeah, St. Patrick already drove them bitches out.
Are we living in the world of Ireland? Okay.
You are living in Ireland.
The land of angry ire.
but yeah,
What's the country we're in again?
you guys are in. I almost said Bretonia, and that's patently wrong. You guys are in Beltsine or Chastine.
Or I was about to say Chastine.
Yeah.
Snakes aren't
Chastine,
real. They
baby.
were wiped out in 1386 by the Chastine government and replaced with constructs.
They're all constructs. Why don't you ever see dead snakes, huh?
All
Snake
right.
skins? That's just the constructs losing chips off of their stone blocks.
By the way, do I still smell burnt chicken?
Yes.
The evil burnt chicken.
That burnt turkey. You still have a faint smell of burnt turkey coming off of that giant slab. But the rest of the room has gone turkey neutral.
That's my favorite alignment.
Turkey neutral. You just stand there and gobble at things.
And die when it rains.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, we have one of two choices. We can either figure out how this evil thing works, or we can try and rubble from the entrance.
It's the mark of Stramdex, and he was notorious for being, well, I don't think any of us are smart enough to try and figure out anything he did.
Well, if the
Well, I've
blade
already
can
tried
cut
to hit it.
in, we could cut through it with the blade.
I don't have any spells that could help here.
With the sliver of the blade.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Actually, would can Tensor's Folding Disc pick things up?
No.
No.
Since it doesn't move up and down, it just forms and then it follows you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, let's just form it in the rubble and move the rubble out of the
You
way.
can't Krillin the fucking wall.
Huh.
Energy
Question.
disc or destructo disc.
What would I have to roll to uncover some things about this?
That would be a history check. Well, it depends on how you want to uncover. Are you wanting to take the scientific method to heart and do stuff to it, or are you wanting to
Well, I'll do stuff.
know things about it?
I wouldn't want to touch that thing if it's emanating
Sure, we'll
burnt
touch it.
turkey.
You're gonna touch it?
Oh no.
Yes.
Okay. You don't need to make a check to do that.
Oh boy.
Heracles, you touch the sigil, and everybody else sees Heracles' body go limp as if he's standing on a marionette. Or as if he is a marionette, with his hands still touching the sigil. Heracles' head comes up in an unnaturally smooth movement, and you hear behind his voice, his mouth opens, but it doesn't move with the words that it says. It says, hold on. Daniel, could you please mute yourself when talking?
Yep, I realized I was unmuted.
Thank you. But his mouth opens incredibly wide, uncomfortably wide it looks like, and you hear coming from behind it, you are not the courier. And then his arm drops off. Heracles, you drop to the ground, like you lose your footing, and then you look up, and you smell a bit like burnt turkey, but it's fading quickly.
Hi guys.
Courier. Huh. And I hold the piece of sick boar I have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to try a scientific method, and if I'm holding the blade, will it react differently to me when I touch it?
So how do you attempt to touch it? Like, do you do the fingernail test?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you scrape the blade on the back of your fingernail, and it cleans off a nice clean shear from the top of your fingernail.
I'm like, no, I meant I wanted to touch the evil sign while I was holding the piece of sick boar.
Oh, you touch the sigil, and you don't feel any different, but the blade vibrates.
Well.
Why
guess
do I
wasn't-
smell like burnt turkey?
Oh, you were possessed very briefly.
Oh, that's what?
Yeah, Grellin's like, yeah, man, I'm probably gonna write a song about it. That was crazy.
I wonder. Smack.
You
I
take the blade.
hit the sigil with the piece of sycamore.
Oh, you hit the sigil, and like a magical explosion knocks you on your ass, and the piece of sycamore goes skittering out of your hand, goes right above Grellin's head to where it almost cleanly takes his scalp off and skitters on the ground towards the feet of Johann.
Yeah, I probably go like sailing off of this little precipice, hit the fucking pillar, and I'm like, oh.
Can we stop messing with the evil? It's starting to smell like a spoiled deli.
My little ears.
I guess.
My little ears. You're like a self-aware anime character.
Dylan probably went side first into this thing, and cat ears are very sensitive.
Oh yeah.
All right. I've used my head enough for today. Anybody else want to have a?
No, I'm gonna lay on the floor for a little bit.
Hadra, what are you up to?
Oh, god dang it.
Hadra has become a Pomeranian.
I was trying to talk, and I realized I was muted, so I unmuted, and right when I unmuted, bark.
Huh.
I was gonna be like, can we not hit powerful objects with other powerful objects, please?
I'm just looking to the fashion.
Yeah.
You're, and then I wander back over trying to figure out, okay, how can we dig our way up?
Okay. Yeah, so you look at this. Is there any particular way you're trying to approach this, or are you just kind of eyeing it out?
Eyeing it out for now.
Okay. Yeah, you guys look pretty fucking stuck at the moment. There's a good enough variety of pieces where any kind of shifting that you guys do is likely to cause a pretty decent avalanche. It looks like the architecture, the arch that was over the doorway, kind of crumpled in the middle to where all of it is being supported on the top of this rubble. And like you could cause some serious structural damage if you like start moving stuff and don't know what you're doing.
I just realized, Mike.
Uh-huh.
How big are these air vents?
I'd say they're probably about 1 foot long by 2 inches wide.
Oh, okay. So not good enough to actually do anything with.
Nah. They're you could probably run a rope through one of them, but that's about it.
Nope, I got nothing.
Right. Let's see here. Grelin probably walks up towards this altar and, sits down on it and is like, well, I am thoroughly confused as to what comes next here. The pedestal?
Oh, yes, the pedestal.
Yeah. No, I think it's intended to be a throne, but I'm just calling it a pedestal. Yeah, you can search the pedestal. Make me a search check.
Here I go to save the day.
You try putting your butt on it, but it doesn't work like normal. That should have worked.
I'm just gonna sit on it then.
Yeah.
What do we do now, Colonel?
I'll do a search. Like maybe a secret door or something that we don't know about.
Right.
Yeah, use those thief skills, rogue.
So yeah, rogues do have the ability to find secret doors. There are no secret doors, though.
That I.
Yeah, you start looking around. You're checking all the walls. Do you want to take 20 on it?
Actually, yes, I was just about to ask, and I realized I was muted.
Yeah. You check all the walls methodically, and as far as you can find, there are no secret doors here. This place was purpose fit for one thing. Um. Yeah.
You know, I'll do something to try and help, and I'll use another one of my arcane attunement points
Mm-hmm.
to use detect magic in the room.
Okay. You detect strong magic coming off of that piece of sick board that no one picked up. And off of this sigil.
And the burnt turkey sigil, and
Mhm.
the thing that we knew was going to be magic, which is the magic sword.
Yeah, well, actually, it's interesting. Heracles, you're detecting divine magic from this. You're also, Seifel, detecting arcane magic from this.
From the pedestal?
The burnt turkey?
Yeah, from the sigil.
Yeah, Seifel actually probably brings that up, and you see him like concentrate a moment, like
I smell
as just like magic
mashed potatoes and
is
gravy.
Yeah.
floating between his hands.
You're using detect magic, so you actually know what kind of school of magic it is. It's an abjuration spell, or abjuration magic is what it's laced with. Very powerful too.
Yeah, he like thinks, kind of scrunches up his face for a moment, thought, kind of looking over towards the sigil. There's Heracles, you said that you detected evil magic coming off this, but this is arcane magic, not divine magic.
Hold on. Underneath the evil, I smell mashed potatoes. That's a good thing.
I think you might have hit your head, but
No. There are 3 different types of good magic that I smell: mashed potatoes, cured ham, and freshly salted turkey.
that is so strange.
Don't question my methods. All right, I'm actually gonna go pick up the piece of sick.
Okay.
Quadra's questioning your methods. What?
There's a method to my madness.
Mm-hmm.
Madness
Or is there
the
a
operant
madness to my
word.
method?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Still,
I pick up the sick.
Oh, yeah, the Shard of Sickbore, by the way, is not divinely magic, but it is arcane magic, and of course, what kind of magic do you think it is?
Delusion?
abjuration.
Abjuration.
I was gonna say, or
Abjuration. Done.
that's actually probably where Simon's like, well, I know what caused that explosion now. When you
Do I need
shove,
to hold it to the altar?
no, it's when you shove 2 abjuration spells against.
What you're saying is I touch them together?
No, if you do, you'll just get blown up like I was. I don't recommend that. That hurt. I broke my tail.
But what if I pushed, like, really hard?
No, that would make it worse.
Grellin's like, hey, bud, I don't know if that's a good idea. That already threw Seifel into that pillar over there.
Do you have a recommendation then?
Grellin, like, looks at you blankly for a couple seconds and then just shrugs.
I can't identify.
Quadra hides behind a pillar as Heracles starts talking about pushing the thing into that can.
Yeah.
What if I put it back on the pedestal?
You put it back on the pedestal, and that burnt turkey smell starts to get ever so stronger.
Nope. Pulling it off.
Yeah, you notice that there was a slight fog that started to come from behind it.
All I can tell, and this is, I wish I was actually a better wizard. I can't identify the spell. All I can tell is that this is magic from the abjuration school.
I will give you. Oh, go ahead.
I don't have any spells that can really deal with this.
I will give you one more thing. The abjuration on the sigil and on Sickbore, on both of them, feels very, very old.
So this isn't just abjuration magic. This is advanced abjuration magic.
Yeah, no. This is some stuff that like you've never felt magic this old, and that's a weird sentence to say because the way that the weave kind of works is it's always recycled new. This doesn't feel like it's ever been recycled. This feels like it was created and then it stayed there. It doesn't feel like it was ever like it feels like there's
Daniel.
this feeling that yes, Daniel, please. But yeah, there's this feeling there that's like, yes, like all magic comes from the same pool. This almost feels like it came from its own pool and never stayed like it's a stale fountain.
That probably actually like makes his like bunches up his shoulders, his ears tilt back, which is hard for them to do because his aren't on the top of his head. His are where normal ears should be.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, this magic shouldn't be. Everything I've read says that all magic comes from the weave. It's like, imagine that every time a wizard, sorcerer, anyone who uses the arcane, when they draw upon magic, it's like putting a bucket into the ocean and throwing the water. It all goes back to the ocean eventually, but this is like water that was before the ocean and never went to it.
Oh, I was gonna say like water that had been put in a cup next to the ocean, like a cup of ocean water that had been taken out of the ocean.
No, this is something different from any magic I have ever felt before. And I am a being of magic, so take that as kind of scary.
It is very worrying.
So should I put the thing back on the pedestal?
No, I
Pretty
think
much
that's
the
just
only thing that's done anything.
all I know is that when you do that, there starts to be spooky fog that comes out, and I don't think spooky fog is a good thing.
I mean, it could be.
If I were just a little bit better, I know how. And he like does the motions for blast of force, but obviously he can't cast third level spells.
Right.
So all you see is like you hear the thrumming of energy, and then just kind of. He's like, yeah.
Could Heracles use any of his like limited knowledge to see if he knows anything about what? I don't know.
What kind of knowledges do you have?
Arcana and religion are going to be the most helpful.
Both of those could be valuable checks.
Well, you know who also has Arcana?
You have all knowledge.
I have all knowledge.
Yeah. Well, there's
Go ahead and
no
make
reason
those
for us
checks.
just not to.
Also, I closed my door, so hopefully you shouldn't hear the barking anymore.
Hooray! Thank you.
Oh, I don't even know what magic is.
Stifle, you're just too confused by like what you felt. You're still like parsing it. It's like feeling a new emotion. You're like, what? How do I compartmentalize this? Knowledge, religion. And what specific thing are you checking about?
Why is it evil, maybe?
Yeah.
Daddy,
So-
why is the sigil evil?
What
So-
are magic?
So this sigil does not necessarily have. So most sigils that carry arcane power or that carry divine power usually are related to a god. This sigil doesn't feel like it has the power of a god that you've ever heard of behind it. Feels very new, I guess you could say. Like something that you've never. It feels like it should belong in the court in the court of the negative, right? But it doesn't resonate with any of the energies of the court of the negative.
So what you're saying is this thing has that new god smell.
Yeah, god damn it. Yeah. Yes.
This might be an esoteric question, but what about knowledge play? to see if this is somehow
Yeah, very.
if this is somehow related to another plane. And actually, how common is knowledge of the other planes here in this world?
Big that
Ah.
literally spews out planar creatures.
So this is
on, like, a
kind of
weekly
like
basis.
this is kind of like Faerun, where even the layman kind of knows that the planes exist,
Yeah,
but you have to be educated to know what they are.
exactly.
Oh, finally.
Hey, now that's a planes check. So first of all, this clearly is a gate. It is not a conventional gate because it doesn't appear to let corporeal beings through it, but it appears to be like some sort of energy gate. What kind of energy it's seeping, where it's coming from, what its purpose is. You're not 100% sure, but you know that it definitely interacts with energy in a to and from basis.
Yeah, like Seifel's working on a theory now, especially with that, where he's like, oh no, I think all that bad energy coming off of that, the fact that it feels older than this world, I think this might be a gate for energies of the Shadowfell to come through.
That does not sound appealing.
Shadowfell is everything wrong with creation. It's like even being in the Shadowfell drains you of your thoughts and your emotions until you're nothing but a empty husk. Even the gods can't go there without eventually dying.
Sounds about as bad as the time I got shipwrecked and had to fight off a bunch of fish people.
Trust me. In my uncle's study, there's all sorts of stuff on creatures that come from the Shadowfell, and the only thing scarier than there is probably the far realms, and that's saying something.
Fair enough. But we still don't have a way out of here. It looks like it would take us days to dig our way out.
And that's even if we get lucky or have an architect among us who could help figure out which parts we can and can't dig out.
Oh, if only we had a dwarf.
Are there any cosmic diamonds nearby?
There are not any counterfeit cosmic diamonds laying around.
This
Dang
just
it.
feels like a story that cousin Ivor used to tell me.
You know, I heard about a guy who could just pop in and out of time.
That sounds like a really contrived way to tell a story.
Wow.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt on a
You
personal level.
you smacked me for plot armor Tuesday. I'm getting you back.
I teased. I said
I'm
I was
teasing
sorry.
back.
All right, yeah, true.
We all tease. We're all a bunch of dirty teases.
Let's see.
Ooh.
Heracles is going to rack that brain of his. I'm looking at the prophecy right now. He's racking my brain, and I'm like, well, does anybody happen to know a guy named Salsamina?
Kalsamena?
Yeah, that one.
I think that's a place, not a person.
Oh. Well, what were they saying about chips and Salsamina?
Speaking of, how much food does everybody have?
Good
'Cause
question.
I think we're stuck here for a while.
Unless we open the gate.
We don't want to go through there. Besides, I think only energy can go through there, and you don't want your energy going there.
Well, what choice do we have?
I've
Crap.
got a day's worth of rations.
I've got 10 rations.
My rations were left on the cart, outside, where Daisy's probably getting hungry.
I mean, hopefully they don't like start nibbling on those bandits. But I've got enough rations for all of us to live for a couple of days.
But
if we went down to like half ration, even longer.
Question, what is this over here?
That is actually non-existent.
Like
Can
a
I-
hole?
No, as in
I
that
know,
is
yeah.
yeah.
It's wall and floor.
It's
Quick, escape through the non-existence.
So I guess while they're all searching through stuff,
hmm
I'm gonna try to open that wooden lockbox again, or from
Yeah,
room
yeah, go
81.
for it.
There was a wooden lockbox?
There
Yeah,
was.
Yeah, I gave
was
it to him
from-
because I was like, hey, I've played World of Warcraft. You always give the lockbox to the rogue.
Oh, that's right.
Like he's like, you gotta try to figure this stuff. He did his searching for a while, and then finally he's like, I got nothing. He's like, I'm here to look for traps and secret doors, and I'm not finding anything. God damn it! Can I just take 20 while they're doing all that?
Yes, you can. That
I'm
is
just
a good
slowly working
idea.
on it.
You
So,
broke one of your lockpicks, Skyrim style.
so the lockbox, you start looking through the lockbox. It's a pretty complicated little guy. You figure you could have busted it open, but you're glad you didn't, because as you open it, you see that there was a like a tensioner's flint, to where if any of the structural soundness of the walls of the lockbox was interrupted, it would have just lit everything inside it on fire.
Oh
And
dear.
you would not have wanted that, because you see several promissory notes from a banking guild in
We're rich.
town. They are worth 65 gold pieces per, and there are 10 of them.
Ooh, an extra 650 gold. That's
Yes.
nothing to sneeze at, especially at
Mhm.
second level.
Oh, yeah.
So,
If we get out to enjoy it.
Imagine all of
let
the
me go to
rations we
my
can
notes
buy.
here.
Hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna need them. Notes. Add. This one wasn't stolen. I shouldn't be adding it to my notes. Or not stolen, traded. I mean, wink, wink.
Huh.
So 1065 GP banknotes. Here we go. Because they're officially, they're not officially money right now until we.
Right, and they're promissory notes. So basically, they're
Sure.
like, this account is worth this much money, you know. But yeah. So
Well,
yeah.
nothing in there. I was hoping like, ooh, a magic key that opens stone doors.
Mm.
I tried, guys. I tried.
Yeah. Um. So let's do a little bit of time pass. What is? We'll say that we're gonna pass about 4 hours. What is everyone doing over these 4 hours?
I am putting Sick Boar on the pedestal and taking it.
All right.
I gave
So-
up on telling him to stop that about 2 hours ago.
Okay.
I probably just told everyone, hey, we're just gonna have to get comfy, and I don't know.
Yeah.
You said there was air holes and whatnot.
Yeah.
I want to try to like look or take to my rope and try to push it in there. See, I don't know. I'm messing with the air holes, trying to see if I could find a way to
Yeah.
get something through.
We'll say that you end up finding a way to get a vantage into them. You look, and they appear to go up for about 10, maybe 15 feet. It's dark, so it's hard to tell. And then they seem to slant off inward towards the center of the ley line of the building.
Ah,
Yes.
so I can't see outside.
No. You can see the vaguest color of like a slight reddish light coming from the end of it, like an auburn kind of color. You figure it's about sunset.
Okay.
Hadra, what are you doing over the next 4 hours?
Probably just sitting there racking her head trying to get out of here.
Sure. Yeah, it's definitely a thinker, because the more that you're looking around, the more you're like, well, I mean, if I pull that stone, well, then that causes that stone and that stone to fall, which causes the top of that to fall down. That sort of thing, just over and over again. And as for Grellin, Grellin is casually playing his lute. Probably not too loudly. He's just in a corner.
If I made a fire, would that be just making things worse? Like just
No,
like a bonfire?
There's ventilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll just make a bonfire in the center of the room.
Okay.
Light it up with my flint and tinder.
Aha!
What type of man are you who can conjure flame with neither flint nor tinder?
I just realized what character Heracles is being. He is being
Patrick?
Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie with the fridge.
He is.
Hello, light.
Goodbye,
Hello,
light.
Buttered toast then.
Man,
Yep.
I love Danny Antonucci. His cartoons are so good. Yeah. Let's see here. So you start a fire. Maybe Grellin sits around the fire and starts is picking away. He's like, well, might as well get cozy.
Is no one going to tell Heracles he should probably sleep?
Yeah. He's like, hey, Heracles, get over here.
But
Hey, did you at least bring a bedroll?
it's on the cart.
Yeah.
At this
Grellin's
point,
like,
he starts to tear up a little.
Aw, poor Heracles.
You just hear Sifo make this like, as he's like, you can have mine. It's a little small, but you can at least lay on it.
No. It's just fine. I promise.
I'm
Grellin's
not
like,
wearing plate armor.
I'll sleep in the plate armor. It's not a big. Goes and
it's
finds
not a
us.
big deal to sleep in. Wow. Youch.
He's going to sleep in plate armor.
That is gonna be. You're gonna be very sore when you finally get out of that plate armor. Yeah. Grellin kind of looks over at Hadra and is like, we've been in this dungeon all day. You can rack your brain tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah. And so we got. Hold on. Let me build us a little fire here. That's premium. Nope. That's the symbol of chaos that's lit on fire. Roll me a D2, Heracles.
We didn't start the fire.
What did you roll?
D2.
Yeah, what
To you?
was the result? You rolled it to me. Okay. Yeah. Let me see here. Perfect. Let me drag this over here.
He's gonna sleep like right, probably dare.
All right.
By the way, he probably promptly starts snoring.
Sorry.
As he's kind of like, as Heracles is snoring, Grellin is kind of like just absentmindedly picking at his lute, and he looks over at Hadra and is like, "So where are you from? Well, I mean, I know where you're from, but what's the deal? You know why? I know why you're over here, but you know, other than that, why are you over here?"
Because I'm over here. I was told to be over here. Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. Sorry, didn't mean to sound accusatory. I was just curious, you know. And he kind of sighs. He's like, "What about you, Johan?"
Ooh, I'm just here because I came with all of you. I've been here a long time.
No, that's fine. I get that, but I mean, you don't have to follow us anymore. Your debt to society or whatever is absolved.
But this is a interesting story involving legends that many people did not.
Yeah, it's fair. I can respect that. He looks over at you, Seifel, like he's about to ask, and he's like, "Yeah, I already know about you."
Thanks.
um, and who is snoring? Yeah, he's like, "You guys wonder if he's got more than a couple marbles rattling around his head?"
You think he has more than 2 marbles?
Heracles sits upright, bacon and tomatoes, and promptly lays lettuce.
Yeah,
Wait.
like Seifel's just like, I mean, he's dumb. Like he's really dumb. But and they're like, who those two? He's like not even explaining the situation.
Yeah. Does Grellin know about them? Or how much have
Uh,
you told Grellin?
He probably knows.
Yeah, okay. Grellin
But-
and you are kind of besties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, well, no one was sticking up for me except for Heracles. And as dumb as he is, I mean, it took him how many days to figure out I was the cat? I mean,
So fluffy.
sometimes you just need a friend who's there for you, even if they're not all there for themselves.
Grellin looks over and he kind of gives you one of those like punch nudges on the shoulder and goes, "Always wear a bleeding heart," with like this kind of warm smile.
You guys are so sweet.
What happens when you grow up
So
when you grow up in a country estate getting to epic romance?
That's fair. Yeah, he looks up and goes, "Okay." Got this stale dungeon air. I usually don't do this unless I volunteer to do it.
No, I don't want any more turkey.
I really wish I knew silence.
No, you shut up.
Surprisingly prescient for being asleep, isn't he? And that, yeah, I like how no one responded to that. Just like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Drone's like, well, folks, I think it's about time for me to tuck in.
Yes, I should probably get a good night's rest. Maybe we'll come up with something in the morning.
Eh.
You hear, twin full moon shall hang thrice days red. On the third day the sky shall be lit with fire.
I go
Then
and
he
like
shall rise to make a turkey.
I take the pillow out from under his head and just put it on top of his face, not to smother him, but to like muffle his talking.
Starts choking on the pillow. Sorry. Yes, he's done.
Yeah, Grellin is like, I suppose we should set up a watch. Who's first watch?
I got it. I'm a cat. We like being out at night. Just
By
don't
the-
throw shoes at me if I start meowing at things.
You guys can literally wake Heracles up and just tell him you're on watch now, and he'll be perfectly.
All right. He's like, anybody volunteer for second watch?
I can take care of it.
All right. I figure I'll wake up for third watch. Padre, you want to take a watch, or you want to get some beauty sleep all night?
Yeah, take the last one.
All right, sounds good. And yeah, he tucks in. So let's see here. First watch. Give me a perception check. Spot and listen, rather.
Spot, cooperate, and listen.
Ha 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 ha. Nice. Good
There's
spot.
the spot. So I'll see the goblins coming, but I won't hear them coming.
Yeah.
I won't hear them coming.
No,
I'll
you
never
won't.
hear them coming.
Not at all. You're kind of looking around the room. Just keep it watch. I mean, what really is there to watch? There's a pile of rubble and then a sigil, right? But you realize it takes you probably about an hour into your watch. You look down at your feet and you see that there's some fog forming at your feet.
Oh no! I'm gonna look over at the statue or the sigil.
The sigil is now glowing a very deep red, all throughout, and you see that the sigil has actually turned 45 degrees.
Guys,
You are unable to wake everyone.
I'm going to draw Calvor
Mm-hmm.
and approach the sigil.
You approach the sigil and you see that the piece of sick boar has been left on the sigil by Heracles.
Oh, that stupid.
In the middle of your sentence, you hear stone on stone grinding as the sigil, at its 45-degree angle, pulls away to show it looks like a room that is it looks like a prison cell.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Oh dear. Yeah, Seifel, I mean, he looks back at the others and tries to wake them again, shouting.
No, not working. Much as you shake them, the most you can get out of them is a gentle murmur.
A gentle murmur about turkey sandwiches.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me, Turk.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Lady Liar, oh, Queen of Cats, protect this foolish disciple as he crosses this path. And I'm going to just for flavor, I'm pre-charging a shocking grasp into my weapons. The head of Calvor starts arcing gently with electricity as I start approaching that open door.
Yeah. So you walk in and you see at the side of this cell there's a door, right? That on the cell there is a door, and the door has 5 locks on it. And inside the cell, well, first of all, outside the cell, you see 2 things, 2 people, and make me a knowledge religion check.
Ooh. Thankfully, I have all knowledge.
Yes, you do.
Knowledge religion.
What'd you get?
17.
That's good enough to identify exactly what you're looking at. Frozen in time, you see 2 archangels, one of Dione and one of Thynos. One of law and one of light. Completely frozen in time, right? And inside the cell, you see a man in what looks like a barely serviceable robe made of rough material. Their head is pointed back, and they have their back turned towards you, and they're staring out the small window of this cell. This small window with 3 bars that you can see a rainbow coming past.
What double rainbow? What does it mean?
But yeah, they're just sitting
Yeah.
there, very gently breathing, cross-legged on the floor in their completely empty cell.
Seifel has a vague inkling of who this could be, given whose sigil he just walked through.
Yes.
He's just like, are you who I think you are? Or is this just some kind of nightmare?
You hear, do you understand the meaning of eternity?
When I die, I'll just go back to the weave, like all of us.
The figure stands and says, the weave. There are many things you need to learn about the weave before you speak to me of such matters.
And why should I listen to you?
This figure turns around, and you see an illithid. And it locks eyes with you, and you feel this cold, clammy feeling come all across your body. It's as if
R.I.P.
you're staring into two perfectly black marbles. And he stares at you and says, "You should listen to me, because I am the weave, and the weave is I."
You're just... What? You're a
You know
mind
my
flayer.
voice. You know my voice, child. But you will never quench it, nor will you silence it.
Yeah, I probably still have the piece of sick boar,
Mm-hmm.
and I just hold it out at him, like almost like you would hold out a crucifix at a vampire.
You see what could only be described as a smile on that face. It's hard to read because it's covered in tentacles. And he approaches the edge of the edge of the cell and stands like 2 centimeters away from the bars and says, "You can't do any." What are you brandishing at him?
Sick boar.
You're brandishing
piece of it.
sick boar, the piece of it. He looks, says, "Ah, my obituary." And then you awaken. You see that there is a bright red light glowing from the sigil, and that there is fog seeping from the sides.
Oh, I dead heat sprint over and just smack the piece of sick boar off of the altar with my shield.
Sorry, what did you say? I had a distraction.
I dead heat sprint over to the altar and using my shield just bat the piece of sick boar off the altar.
You bat it off, and as you bat it off, a clean, probably inch off of the side of your shield gets perfectly severed.
Hence why I knocked it off with my shield and not my hand.
Yeah. The light begins to fade, and the fog begins to slow and slow. But you're left with this knot in your stomach and this sense of general dread and unease.
Yeah, I probably don't even realize that I did draw Calvor.
Mm-hmm.
And that there is electricity arcing off it as I just look back and I just like cry out like, just wake up already, one of you!
Yeah, all of you wake up. Like, yeah, he's just... Seifel's freaking out right now.
No more turkey sandwiches.
Yeah, and Grellin's like, Joe, what's
I
wrong?
run
What's
over-
wrong?
I saw he knows we're out here and he knows that we have at least a piece of it.
Who's who?
Who's he?
Stramdex.
At this
Grellin's
point,
like-
now you have his full attention.
Grellin's like, hold up. Are you sure you... Are you sure you didn't have, like, a dream or something?
No, this thing, I told you, And I'm like pointing at the sigil. It's a gateway for energy. And it goes both ways. The energy that came out, I think, pulled a part of me in. He's in there somewhere. There were two archangels watching his prison, and he's not a person anymore. He's an illithid.
Whoa. Back up. What's an
Mind flayers. They're monsters that live underneath the surface of the world, and they want to eat intelligence so that they can blot out the sun and live forever. That's why it talks about That's why it talks about the sun hanging red for 3 days.
That's cool.
Right. The sun, the red sun, the illithid red sun. The sun specifically for the illithid?
No, I think that this is all meaning that Stramdex is very much aware that he can get out of his cell at some point. And if that happens, well, I don't think he's going to just play around with adventurers this time.
Uh-huh. Was there a way out?
I don't know. And then I look at my shield, which is just like this clean shear off the side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't know, but we have to get out of here somehow, and we have to find the other pieces, and we have to put them back together. Because if we don't, I don't even think the necromancers could stop him.
Well, that's all well and good, but how are we getting out of
I don't know. Oh, and Seifel is like 10 out of 10 on the distressed scale.
Oh yeah.
Start
He's
patting
pacing.
Seifel on the head. Hey, no, listen. You're safe. It's okay. There's a thing between you and whatever you saw.
All I know is
Head scratches.
all I know is what I saw was real.
I don't doubt that. But right now, we have to take it one step at a time. Thank you for not being mad at me.
I mean, I guess it was our fault. We didn't make you stop.
No, I forgot about it. You said bedtime, and then I realized how tired. That's not a good excuse. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I mean, we're not going to get through this or get out of here if we start just snipping at each other, but
Maybe that's exactly what we need to do.
are you... never mind.
Yes, I am.
Grellin's
Is anything different about it?
No, everything's exactly the same, except for there's like a thin layer of fog on the ground.
As far as you know, Seifel just had a bad dream and has lost his cat mind.
Yeah.
It was the catnip he got into.
Sorry, Grellin.
Oh yeah, Grellin was gonna be like, yeah, I don't like the sound of that. Dream or not, even if it is something that's completely fictitious, it's still a bad omen. And he like looks at you and like realizes like, but I'm not saying that it was a dream. I believe you.
Thank you. I felt like I was going insane for a second. Like when all this stuff happened, I was standing right over there, and when I tried to wake you guys up, nothing would happen.
Was that you trying to shake the turkey sandwich out of my hand? That was a good
Blank
dream.
stare.
Ruined.
Blank stare.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I think this kitty's down to 8 lives.
Clap hard, Heracles.
Almost knock him over.
Pretty much. Hey, don't count yourself out just yet. We've got a long way to go and a short time to.
Yeah. And you guys are sitting there, and you hear something coming from this side of the rubble.
Here
Um,
I come to save the day.
you
Or to kill
hear-
us. Either way, we should probably get out to the side.
Yeah. You hear someone make me a listen check.
Heracles is good.
Everybody stop and listen. It's Isis Brack with a brand new edition.
It's,
Something grabs a hold of Rubble tightly. Oh, nice. Hadra, you hear exactly what's being said. You hear a voice, and Heracles. Heracles and Hadra both. You guys hear on the other side of the rubble. All right. Put the pole to the ceiling there. No, there. Oh, you bloody gits. I can't believe that you're not even... Who hired you on as workforce?
Is this
Huh?
is this the blacksmith?
No. It is
It's
not
not
the
an ad we
blacksmith.
recognize.
That's not a voice you recognize, but Hadra, you recognize the first voice. The first voice is actually the monk that you spoke your premonition to.
I hop over here to hide behind things.
Yeah, but you hear several heaves and hoes, and then this massive pile of rubble just like starts to, it has like an air hole essentially, or like a pretty big window that gets pushed in it, and then you see two spellcasters holding that window with like abjuration magic again. And you hear,
Again.
hello, can any of you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. Yes, I can hear you. You're out of here.
Well, I believe that hold on. Did I even put him down?
No.
No, I didn't. Sorry, give me 1 second to put him down. I don't think I ever even gave you guys his name. He is, let's see here. Gondir.
Old monk Rasputin.
So he is Gondir Bolskone. Let me put a title for him as well. Head monk.
Oh, wait, it's a person I like. Oh, I probably wouldn't have said.
Yeah, no, it's the head monk of the 8th Shard.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You guys are here. All right.
Yeah.
Can we get...
I need you to take a step backwards. Get behind any cover that you can.
Oh, dude.
hide behind Hot?
Hadra, go
Giant Australian hides behind.
Turn into a cat and
This
hide behind all this
6'4".
rubble.
Nice. Grellin is going to run up here and hide behind the... and you guys hear, all right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
What?
And you hear a massive shift as this giant amount of rubble just blows forward at like super high speeds. And like anyone watching, the rubble whizzes by, and then 2 giant metal poles are erected right underneath the core of the archway. And as the dust settles, you see good old you see Gondir standing there with 2 other monks of the way of the 8th Shard, who have the classic black and red monk robe, walk through, and immediately Gondir starts sprinting towards the sigil, right?
Yeah.
Grellin fucking ducks out of the way and ducks off the side as Gondir takes a leap off of the pedestal itself and slams his foot into this sigil, and you see a massive crack just fall across, right? And then the sigil slams into two and dissolves into dust as it hits the ground.
Told you I should have used my head.
I do not think it would have been strong enough.
Yeah, Gondir stands there, and both of his assistants run up and immediately start consecrating the area with some sort of powder that like burns like this bright blue and smells of this acrid. It almost smells like ink with that acrid kind of semi-sweetness behind it. Yeah, as that's going on, you see a very large man. In fact,
Who
I don't know
has
if
the sick?
anyone.
Who has
Huh?
the shard of sick?
Seifel, don't you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Seifel has sick boar, but you see a very large man. In fact, I don't think Seifel would recognize. Johan, you would recognize. This is a Goliath. And he walks in. He's like, all right. Well, looks like you all found yourselves in a predicament, but it appears that that is no longer the case.
we thank you, friend. And I like bow down.
By the way,
Mhm.
I have sick boar, and
Mhm.
when I turn into a cat, everything melds into me. Does that mean it
Oh,
can't
God.
kill me? Can it?
No.
It becomes your claws. You can now slice through anything.
Oh, that would be so fucking badass.
No, definitely.
Sick
Except
boar
that means you
claw.
also slice through the ground, you fall to your death. And
Yeah.
Kill Stramdex with a cat.
Ha 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 ha.
You know that's how this fucking campaign has to end now.
Nope. Not gonna happen.
Nope.
Nope.
Welcome to Legacy of Meow.
But yeah, this dude comes through the door. He goes, right, which one of you is in charge?
Meow.
I guess that would be Grelin? Or
Grelin like walks up and goes, yeah, I guess I am. And he goes, and who are you? And the guy takes off his helmet, and like this long, beautiful set of brown locks comes flowing out. And I'm sorry, I didn't recognize the armor. It's dark in here.
What do I smell?
Oh, this dude smells good. He smells like mashed potatoes.
Yes. Oh, it's dark. I'm gonna cast daylight. I forgot.
You cast daylight, and everyone's like, "Oh!" sort of thing. But
sorry.
You see this Goliath, who is very, very handsome for a Goliath. Let's see here, and yeah, he reaches out his hand and says, "I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting."
Who?
To you and to anyone really.
Okay, well, I take the glowing hand and shake his hand with it. Gotta have
Yeah.
a disco ball there for a minute.
Oh, for sure. And this guy is taller than you, but not by too terribly much. He's still a big man, though.
My hand probably hurts after.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, he's like, I happen to be Elias Richardson. I'm the alderman of the Citadel.
Used to such height.
He goes, well, it was a gift from me mum and me dad. And he like kind of chuckles.
Yes, well, what brings you to this neck of the woods, I guess?
Well, I was just asked, good old, let me open up my key and PCs. Good old Gondir here. He happened to catch me as we were walking by, as I was walking by with a retinue, and he said that he immediately needed help. and then took me out here. Took him a whole gold's damn day to get out here. Carried around enough people. And you're starting to notice that there are city guards around here that are not in the area, but they're around the area, kind of wandering around.
That Gondir, huh? That's nice. What did he say was his reason for being?
I didn't ask. I figured, you know what? If the man's got question, or if the man wants me to take care of it, the man, he's done enough for the town that I can do him a favor every once in a while.
Wow. Johan leans over to Hadra and is like, does that mean he knew we were in trouble before we were in trouble?
That is a possibility.
A very strange man.
Meow.
Grellin at this point is probably.
Scratch Sifle behind the ear.
Aw.
Oh, he needs it. He needs it after that fucking nightmare.
Oh yeah. Grellin kind of walks over to you guys and is like, I'm gonna stand over here with you guys. There's a lot of guards, and we're only here on a loose available contract.
How do you think I feel? Some of them are my friends, but still.
Yeah.
Can't arrest a cat, can they? I don't hold in court.
Well, I mean, if a
Tourist.
bandit can stab a cat.
Yeah, I mean, if they know that you're a cat, they can't arrest you. But I mean, as you're saying that, Gondir walks up to you and is like, "Do not worry. We are not here to arrest you. We were here to take care of what we had noticed was happening. Finding out that you had come here was merely coincidental."
Oh, good.
My tail is slowly turning back from a raccoon tail to a cat tail.
He says, so, I felt him. And he looks around you guys and is like, did he show himself?
Oh, I morph back. Still
Yeah.
have sick boar in my hand.
You know that that meme with Dwight where Angela sneaks up behind him and he goes, ah, fuck! That happens with a guard who's entered this room at this point. Like, sees you transform, he's like, fuck! But yeah, anyway, you say?
I'm like, I don't know if it was a dream or it was real, but I saw him. And I look around and lean in to be a little bit more quiet because I don't want to scare the shit out of these guards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it was him. Stramdex.
You see Gondir's face go fucking pale, right? You're holding out Sickbore, right?
I still have it, yeah.
He says, "This is something that we must report." Do you have it visible, or?
Yeah, it's in my hand.
He looks down and his eyes widen. He says, "There are strange developments."
He was using this, putting it on that altar over there, and that was somehow powering the sigil.
He holds out his hand and says, "If you would allow me, please."
Oh, there's a lot of tension where it's like, I don't, that kind of thing of, do I not? But then again, he is a monk. But then again, can we trust anybody? But then again, I'm the good guy. But then again, I also want the really badass sword when it's finally finished. But I give it.
He's also the minor Maha of that dojo. So he's like second in command of the dojo that is literally explicitly all about killing Stramdex if he ever comes back.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's something else you need to know. All the stories say that Stramdex was a human, right?
Elf, but yeah.
Yeah, all the stories say that Stramdex was an elf, that he was like us. But he was a mind flayer.
He looks considerably less shocked than you would expect.
Which makes me even more shocked. I'm like, these assholes knew that we were gonna fight a fucking Illithid lord.
These assholes didn't know you were gonna fight shit. But yeah, he says, we have much to discuss. Please, ride with us back to town. There's safety in numbers, and it is certainly a bad time to be unsafe.
Right, we'll follow you on our own cart. We have to... Oh god, did those prisoners die?
I mean, it's only been like, I don't know, like 18 hours since you've been in the dungeon.
I also feel like the guards probably would have found the cart and the prisoners.
Yeah, no,
but
the
they
guards
also,
found the prisoners.
they were tied up, so they couldn't even get water.
Yeah, but I mean, you can survive 18
Yeah.
hours without water.
They probably want to die, but...
Right. So you guys start to walk out of the dungeon.
Oh, and there's a
and
giant spider. There's a giant hell spider in that room. Don't
Oh,
go
yeah.
in there.
you look at that room, and that door is gone.
Mother-
As in, like, it's
What?
flat wall.
What? But there was a door here in a... I was... Is there any, like, of the fucking infernal spider's blue blood covering me still?
No,
Like, not even a stain?
not even a stain.
What the...
In fact, you all notice that any of your armor and clothing that might have gotten damaged, dinged, or scuffed, perfectly fine.
Yeah, there's probably like shreds in mine from the explosion that I was right next
Oh,
to.
yeah. And
Even though I
those
avoided
are-
it, still just.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's completely repaired. Your robe is in the perfect
Oh, my
condition.
poor shield. If only I had broken you in my dream.
Yeah. And you guys start to exit the dungeon. And you notice a couple things. The first thing is that those traps that you triggered on the doors, those look like they were triggered, but they're now in a different position of being triggered.
Weird.
Yeah.
That you know what? That
Mhm.
makes me trigger.
Ha. But as you exit the dungeon, by all accounts and rights, it should be about like 3 in the morning, right? Because you guys got here at about 6.
How long were we gone?
Oh, you also notice those multicolored tiles. They are also triggered, but in a different pattern.
Yeah, they still trigger me.
Ha.
What day is it?
He looks at you, somewhat confused, and he says, "It is Aeldot."
Is that the day that we went in?
No, you guys went in 2 days before Aeldot.
We've been in there for 2 days?
He says, "Pose."
It wasn't even a whole day for us.
Yeah, it was about maybe like 3/4 of a day when you got trapped in there. But yeah.
When I find Ansip, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, I didn't bring that up, but when he mentions it, like, oh, that silver cast clown, ugh, one of the pale humans, Ansip, it was like he was worshipping the altar. I think they might be, I don't know how, I don't know why, but I think that the silver casts might be working with Stramdex.
This is concerning. He says that this is concerning, but there's no way that they have any power at this point. If you have the piece of sick board that they absconded with, it's not as if they have the third piece.
Problem is their town.
Well, and you guys get in the cart, and he says, things have changed. And he starts to explain basically Chastine, after the whole fiasco with Holdry, he like went directly to the council and had the backing of a surprising amount of guilds out of nowhere, right? And basically he went, Silvercast, don't own this town anymore. And like the council voted in a historic unanimous vote. Even the general abscond, or generally the even the general absolvers or absconders. What would it be? Person who does not vote.
Absentee, no, abstention.
Abstention, yeah, abstanders. They even voted. So like the entire council voted for eradicating the silver caste, right? When I say that, I even mean the representative of fiefdoms, who is like not even involved in the city really. Let's see, who else voted?
Damn, how much gold was used to grease all of these palms?
You know what? Actually, here's what's going to be the big one that will make you realize, oh wow, that's a lot. The ambassador of the Embassy of Black voted for this.
Oh wow, the fucking necromancers were like, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Drake,
can
Silver cast out. Silver
Yeah.
cast out.
It's kind of interesting. You guys actually start to approach Belt Scene again. Let me get you out of this dungeon and into Belt Scene.
I like to imagine that this guy is like, he looks like one of the ring wraiths. And they're
He
like
does.
they're just having like a normal political debate like in Parliament.
They
and there's
all
just this-
wear a mask.
And there's just
Actually,
this
of their own
fucking
design.
spooky ring wraith just sitting there listening, and everyone's just ignoring him.
Yeah, but they all wear masks of their own design, essentially. And they only spoke when they need, and they only speak when they need to, and only in whispers. Very mysterious folk. But yeah, you guys approach Belt Scene, and the walls are higher.
What?
Like construction project right now.
Did we just pop into another dimension?
I'm
no.
actually going to look at them and say, what year is it?
They say it's the year 2000, which is the year that you are currently in.
But how did the walls get built up this quick, and why?
The Artificer Guild lended many of their scholars. You see, after the issue, light was shed on the fact that currently there are strange goings on, and, in fact, very dangerous goings on. Certain provisions that this town, or that this city has had in order for years, have now been activated as they were sitting on the back burner. Currently, I need to take you to the temple, and immediately after that, we are going to the citadel.
Who did we lose?
Yeah, who did we lose?
Other Gary.
Other Gary. Yeah, okay. But yeah, he takes you through the town. The rest of the town looks the same, obviously. But he takes you to the Citadel District, up to the Temple of the Eighth Shard. He walks you through hurriedly, as opposed to the lax walk that you had beforehand. And the first thing he does is that garden, Seifel, that you entered, he stops you in front of there, and he walks in there quickly, right? You guys wait there for about 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. That's it. He comes back, and he says, Seifel.
Yeah?
He wants to speak. In fact, he wants to speak to all of you.
Oh, I get that whole like, oh, this is such a big honor. I'm so humbled.
Yeah.
Heracles is not exactly thrilled, but
Yeah.
he
You
knows he
can-
can't BS his way through this conversation.
Right. Yeah, so you guys are led into the garden, right? And just to recap, this is like the most beautiful fucking garden. Basically, there's a natural hill with a pond that dips down into it, and there is a pagoda at the very end of the pond, or at the very beginning of the pond, rather. And you get the most beautiful view of the mountain. And yeah, so you guys approach, and Theed Blackedge the Third is sitting on a chair. There is a tray that has cups enough for each of you, no more, no less, and a small teapot. But he's sitting on a chair and he's staring at you as you approach.
Yeah, I
bow.
approach and bow to him.
Mm-hmm. Hadra, how do you react? Actually, I'm interested.
Not showing any emotion at the moment.
Do you bow?
Yes, I bow respectfully.
Okay, sure. Heracles, how do you approach this?
He'll probably give like not a deep bow, but like a serviceable one. Does that?
Yeah. No, I get you. Kind of like this is the formality bow.
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. He says, "Please, all of you, have a seat."
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm okay standing. That's fine.
I like
it's hard to get back up once you've sat down and full.
I like
He
reach
nods.
over. Oh, I was never mind. I was
Yeah.
about to like reach over and like hit him on the back of the knee.
That would have hurt you a lot more than me.
Then be like,
Yeah.
ah.
But yeah, he nods. He seems to not really care which way the wind blows, you know. And he looks at all of you and he says, "I cannot begin to explain the danger that you have found yourselves in. But
Well, you could try.
he says, "I will attempt." Many years ago, many years ago, my father's father belonged to a group of people who had a sole goal. And that goal was to fight and defeat Stramdex. They succeeded on one front, but failed on the broader horizon. I have lost many nights, hoping, meditating, and even wishing upon the idea that he would never return. But we have not been able in a predicament of the mortal. And he takes a long sip from his tea. And he says, "You found one of the three pieces of the legendary sword. And that is, he says, you have found one of the three pieces of the legendary sword. It was going to be delivered to this temple for safekeeping and relocation. That, obviously, was intercepted. The second piece of this blade lies within this dojo and this temple. And the third piece lies at Calcimate. The first thing that is required is that all three pieces must be brought together before the Great Forger, so that it may be reassembled. However, this is not something that I can do immediately. I do not have the ability to remove the shard from this temple unless Theed himself first, my father's father, come, or unless the council wills.
But wouldn't Theed the First be long gone by now?
He looks at you, and there seems to be almost like this knowing sheen over his eye. He says, "My father's father is not dead. He is merely traveling."
Oh.
Hmm.
Did
That is a long time to live.
did your major domo tell you? I would probably use a term like that,
Yeah,
being
yeah.
that I'm from a noble family.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That or seneschal was more of a Middle Eastern term.
True.
But did your major domo mention the? I don't know what it was. A vision, a nightmare, a warning.
Theed closes his eyes, and his face kind of curls into this unfavorable grimace. Says, "I have felt it."
He's not what he was before.
He nods, and he says, "Yes, this is true. He has grown in strength ever since he has been in prison."
I mean, I've heard of desperate, evil people turning to lichdom to try and live forever, but this?
He says, "The path that Stramdex has taken is only par for the course. It is what he has always done, and what he will forever do, till he is ended. He is a force multiplier, exponential. I fear one day he might even consume the stars."
If he's a illithid, does that mean that there's an elder brain somewhere working with him?
He closes his eyes and nods no. Says, "This goes beyond convention."
Well, he called himself the Weave, and that I had so much to learn that he could teach me.
He looks at you and he says, "I know that you know. Or I know that the statement that I'm about to say goes without saying. But obviously, he does not have anything to teach you. Not in the sense that you would desire."
Oh, I've got enough problems with cat ears and a tail. The last thing I need is tentacles.
He actually smiles at that. He goes, "Now, what I need is I need great confidence. Not from me. I know that you are the ones. You will succeed. But the first hurdle in your journey is to make the others believe." What?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
The others, the rest of the monastery, the people
No.
of Beltzine.
No. Nothing quite so grand or ideological. You must convince the council. A vote
was my
needs to be
worry.
held that will allow the shard that is currently held at this temple to be taken out of the city.
Oh, Seifel gets this look like, oh no, I'm gonna have to go politicking.
Yeah.
Oh, without goodies.
Yeah, he's like, he probably does kind of like give this like nervous chuckle, and he's like, guess I'm gonna have to stop by the family estate and get some nice clothes.
Ooh, let me go with you. I've always wanted to meet your family.
You wouldn't like my family.
No. I think this would be a great opportunity.
Feed holds up his hand with immediate purpose. He says, there is one other thing that you should know. And it's about now that you actually realize that there's a burlap bag on the ground with
It has
a
a head
red
and quit.
huh? That
like,
has
there's
a
a
red
head
stain
on
on the bottom.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
He says, please examine the contents of the bag.
It's his own head.
Hydra,
Ha!
you're the most okay with cutting people's heads off.
Oh, that's me.
And
Quite
accurate.
true.
And that means what?
You're the least likely to be
Heracles
traumatized by
opens it.
what. Uh-oh.
Heracles, you open the top and you see silver whitish hair.
Yes. Fucking hell.
If
As
it's
you start
Ansip, I'm gonna be happy.
Nope. As
Aw.
you start to pull it out, you see I'm gonna give this to Johan, because Johan, you're gonna be fucking shocked and terrified at this. Out of the bag is pulled the head of Dreamweaver herself. And on top of that, on the forehead, that self-same pattern that you saw within that dungeon that had been destroyed is carved.
Ansip.
Johan is just pale and staring.
Yeah,
Like,
this
can't
is,
look away.
and just for the audience, to broaden the context, this woman is basically, that's like if someone sent Don Corleone's head with a swastika carved into it. Like,
Well, that's an image that's not gonna leave.
Like, it is bonkers how powerful this woman. She basically ran this city up until 2 days ago.
So does that mean
Who
we
did
should have killed Ansip when we had the chance?
The chance sip.
Oh my god.
Ah!
No, Johan's gonna be like,
You've been
Uh,
waiting on that one, haven't you?
Can I leave this game
Yeah.
now?
You know what?
Biding your time waiting for that one.
You've got 2 more bad jokes before we've hit the quota of being able to leave the game, James. You're still trapped.
Of bad puns.
But yeah, she said. He says. She doesn't say shit.
Hi guys, I'm still alive.
Oh,
but
God.
yeah, she
Um,
starts talking. Oh.
no. Oni-chan.
No.
No. Let's not. No.
Okay.
No.
So.
No. No.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, we found her organization was already mostly destroyed when the town guard began to start their raids. Most of them appear to have been killed in combat. She, however, was a special scenario. Set upon all of her wealth with her head in her lap.
I think we know who did this. And it seems like it's as bad as we fear, that the crazy clown man's worshipping the supposed to be dead evil mastermind.
He seems to have betrayed her.
Well, whatever he had been doing, it seems like he had been doing it behind her back for a while. Somehow, I don't fully believe that the project down at the ruins that we were just at were under her purview.
No, I mean, we heard the guards talk about him, not her.
That's my point. Especially if this had been a Silver Cast clandestine operation, there probably would have been more of them there. Speaking of which, I don't think any of them were Silver Cast, were they?
No, they were all Silvercast. Yeah. Feed stands, and as he stands up, you feel like the ground, the energy in the ground, I guess is the best way to put it, because it's hard to describe, but almost like the flow of the air around him seems to change in direction as he stands. He says, "You obviously, and my vote goes a long way. But you're going to want to talk to my key person. Now, he'd say you're going to want to talk to my closest friend in the council, Lackwick Tallypaw. He is the he's the head of the Church of Liar. Yeah, you would actually know who he is because you worship Liar.
And he's a pollywag. It just, I don't know, that name just, it tickled me in such a way.
Tallypaw. Tally-ho! But yeah, he says, you're going to want to talk to Lackwick. He is going to be the one who knows how to whip votes. I do not bother in these politics unless I must.
Are we going to need a unanimous vote from the council?
No.
Good. I don't think we're going to be able to convince the emissary of the dark to work with us.
He says, this is something that I might agree with. But for now, no. For now, you should know. And he looks directly at you, Seifel, says, things often come in fives that should come in ones.
In his mind, he's like, God damn it, more riddles.
But and he says, I will explain that to you later. But as for right now, I must think. And behind you, as if he came out of nowhere, the major domo says, come, we must make our way to the Citadel.
Favorite stores there.
No, outside of there, actually.
This is I'm Heracles, and this is my favorite store on the city.
Ha! Oh, I get it.
Do you think there are fish in the Presidium?
No, that's just a water storage tank. Stupid crow.
Let's just go kill some Turians then. That'll make us feel better. Anyway.
Wrong game!
Anyway.
It could be the right.
Yeah, as we followed, I'm like, well, it would take about a full day to ride out to my family's estate and back.
There is no time. First, we must meet with Lackwick.
Afterwards, I mean, before we go politicking. My family might be only minor nobles, but they definitely probably have a better hand on the pulse of politics than we do. They'll know how to work things, how to grease the wheels, as it were.
Yeah. So yeah, you start heading out towards the Citadel proper. You leave the area, and it's only a short walk away. So, you get to the main Citadel hall, and out front, you see, you would recognize him, Stifle. I don't know if anyone else would, but you see a satyr. a satyr by the name of Lakwak Tallypal, and he's kind of bored. He's like drinking on the outside of it, kind of bored.
He's a satyr.
Yeah,
If they're not fucking drunk and having like an 8-way, then they're
That's why he makes a great priest of Liar. But yeah, he sees you approach. He hops up and goes, "Oh, hey, hey, how goes it, guys? Drink," and like offers everyone like a wineskin.
I'll take it just because I'm a Liarite and I'm just like, make a toast. And I'm like, to the Cat Queen.
Well, most people say that it is a Fox King, but whatever you say. Like,
Does he actually offer to Heracles?
oh yeah, of course.
There's nothing left in the wineskin.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Wait, well,
Depends
you
who gets it
think
first.
you think there's nothing left, but
Is this a magic wineskin?
bottomless
Proof is wrong.
wineskin.
Okay, then you see Heracles chugging for a good solid 30 seconds.
Oh,
before
dude,
he was
dude,
like,
Lackwick is totally like chug, 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 yeah, get it, like sort of thing.
yeah,
Seifel kind of glance over at Johann and Hadra, kind of like, oh dear, this is our way in.
you've got to think like Thomas Edison, my friend.
Steal ideas?
Well, that, but then also, what would Benjamin Franklin
Smoke a lot of weed and have sex with a lot of French prostitutes and catch the clap.
gotta think like a French person to win their navy.
I think my favorite thing about that is that whenever someone went to check up on Benjamin Franklin, they literally went, I think that he's like, they basically in a letter said that he's incompetent, he's lost his mind, and he should be kicked off from the Revolutionary Council. And then they went, no. But
don't question Big Dick Ben.
he didn't get any troops from the French. It was the guy who they sent over to reel him in who got the troops. The only
That was Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
I just thought that was fun. Don't you fuck with Big Dick Ben.
Oh yeah. The only contribution Benjamin Franklin had, other than spreading goodwill, was that one Prussian soldier who whipped Prussian commander who whipped Washington's army into shape.
So, as I was saying, 40. No. Lots of drinking from the wineskin before giving up and.
Yeah, he takes and goes, woo, hell yeah. You know that was actually, and then he like thinks for a second. He goes, that was 80 proof, not bad. And he like takes another drink. He's like, so, all right, so good old Junior there sends you over to me because I'm gonna be the one who's gonna be trying to get these votes together. Because he and I are the only people who are sane enough to get you guys this. Listen, if he says something, I believe him, trust him wholeheartedly. I know that he's on the right path.
Oh, come on. You haven't even given me a chance yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm giving you a chance. Why would I not? And he like takes another big drink and like sets it down and goes, whoo, whoo. All right, so let's see here. To put all of this lightly, we need a 2/3 majority in this whole thing. So we need to get Grand Magister of the College of the Weave, the Headmistress of the Academy of Observation, the War Master of the Strong Arm Guildhall, Grand Judge of the Thinus Court, High Priest of the Church of Dione. You've got me. We need the head administrator of the Contract Administration. We need lead explorer of the Adventurers Guild. We've already got the Grand Mahad. We need the ambassador of the Embassy of Black. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
We need what?
Well, we don't need him, but this is the choice we have to work with. We need the Order Master of the Hermitage, the Alderman of Marketside, Notwall, Eastgate, Applegate, Chandler Hall, North Hall, Sunrise District, Old Town, the Citadel, the Captain of the Guard, the Head Financier, or the representative of fiefdoms. We need 2/3 of them.
Okay, how many do we need an Actually, no, never mind. Well, strike the emissary of the black off the list right now.
Yeah,
How many do we have? So,
2.
Oh dear.
are there any that would be more willing to help?
Oh, sure. There's plenty of people who'd be more willing. Listen, everybody wants something. I'm sorry. He's like, listen, people want their back scratched in this city, and you know what? I've scratched some backs and tickled some butts. You know how it goes. That's how politics works, baby.
My
But-
poor tail is just bristled.
Yeah. But here's the thing. There's 23 seats. And if I'm doing my math right, we need, out of these, oh, come on. Gosh darn it. There we go. We need 14. We got 2. Good start.
So, maybe we could just like save the entire town from one giant threat, and then they'd all be like, willing to do things for us because they'll owe us.
Well, you know what? I think that would be great. Let me just drum up a calamity real quick. We got to find something to do. Listen, I can get some lists put together for you. But-
What if we found like a Tarask or something?
He looks at you and he goes, I've always heard Tarasks can't hold their liquor. He goes, listen, if you want somebody who is gonna be an easy-ish sell, right? Here's what I'm gonna recommend. Go meet up with Cortada Petrichor. He's the Ordermaster of the Hermitage. You can find him outside of town in his little wooded area. How it goes. He's basically the head of the head of all the druids around here and runs the largest druidic circle. Ironic for a hermitage, right? He goes, but whatever the case, he's probably going to be your easiest sell because he's been, we went on a little vision quest. Different strokes, you know what I mean? He was trying to find enlightenment. I was there for a good time. But he told me that he saw something real dark coming. He couldn't put his finger on it, so I figured, why not just check with him?
Druids seem like they'd be real easy.
Yeah. They're all about nature and shit. And they're great people.
Hadra, do you have druids back where you come from?
Yes.
Yes. They're not common. They exist.
What is that?
Is that
So cute.
He's going to
So
say,
is that
I
cat approve or not approve?
I would appreciate to be left out of working with the druids. There was an incident, not here, but somewhere else, and I feel very uncomfortable around druids.
I mean,
Was it in the mythical land of Britannia?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Was it in the mythical land of Britannia?
No, where's that? I've never heard of that place before.
He's like,
I think you're just making up places.
He
God.
says-
oh, you're one to talk.
yeah. He says, there are a couple other people who you might be able to look into.
Of course.
To be honest, I'd probably scratch the representative of fiefdoms off your list. Good old,
I don't know. Technically, the Vetamanes own a fiefdom in this area, so...
Oh, then I would definitely scratch him off. See, I don't know if you know how this works, but the representative of the fiefdoms is a commonman who's elected once every 5 years. He has to be a village elder, not allowed to be of noble bloodline. Guy's name is Daniel Miller. Guess what he does for a living?
Mills?
Yep, that's the one.
But
well, I mean, now he's the
here's-
representative of fiefdoms. But
here's the
before that,
thing. I'm from the Vetemane line, but it's pretty well known that my family does not like that I am the sole heir.
Right. I
So-
understand that.
I think I have a way in to talk with Mr. Miller is, well, neither of us really like the nobles that much, and there might come a point where little Seifel here is running a fiefdom of his own, so
But
God
you are
Yeah,
help
you
us
got
all.
got pie in the sky dreams, kid. Well, hey, open up. I'll send a house for if you ever get one. And he's like, yeah, but you also might want to check out. I would leave most of the Guildhall representatives out of it for right now. They're already up their own ass too much. You could check with the head financier. I know Bernard Goodchild is talking about something about rated trade lines or something.
what
I
about
didn't
the
get
captain of the guard? Surely there's something we can do to help out around town.
Yeah, Ophelia's been, we'll say, predisposed. And by predisposed, I mean she's been drinking away herself. Bad way.
Oh, I want to take that job. I'll do it.
I was actually going to suggest Johann. He seems like he knows how to worm his way into women's hearts.
But I can drink with the best of
You
them.
want me to talk to the captain of the guard?
It's a tale as old as time. I've read it in a lot of books. You know, you've got
Do you
the
trust me?
investigator and the notorious thief.
Then I will go with Johann, maybe.
That might actually make her feel better if there's a paladin standing behind Johann all the time who has a big fuck off sword.
Well, I mean, we could just, challenge her to a drinking
You do.
You know, if that works, it works.
Okay, so I have given you guys a new note called the Council of Beltstein. It is editable by you, so you guys can keep track of what's going on. I will.
Myself on the council.
Huh?
Hey, is one of the council members a grouchy old warlock that's like almost 200 years old as an elf, whatever, 300 years, whatever I was.
Is one of them actually the Senate?
Uh,
The Senate.
the closest to I am the Senate would probably be
I was referencing.
Julius Amante.
We
What were
can
you
send
at?
Hadra there to.
I was referencing Albron Silver, my old.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
it.
I remember. That was a fun little thing. I need to do another crime campaign like that.
Hell yeah.
So let's see.
I want to be a gnome mafioso.
Let me see here. So
out what her problem is. And if all else fails, I'll challenge her to a drinking contest.
You get along with the ladies very well, don't you?
I'd like to drink.
Everybody likes a cat.
Everybody.
but yeah,
Exactly. Everybody
so
wants to be a cat.
that's a Thundercat song, actually. I wish I had not lied. All right. So I gave you guys a list, and I think that about here is where we're going to wrap up for the night because I got to wake up early in the morning. But we'll get a cutaway scene, and the cutaway scene is a cart. This cart is beat up like crazy, and we kind of get a view from the side of the cart. It's actually a carriage. We get a view from the side of the carriage where there's a window that's busted out, and we get in, and we see that there is a cleric and a what appears to be an assistant working over somebody. You hear here, all right, we're going to have to knock you out for this. This isn't going to be pleasant. And you hear from the bottom, no, I want to feel it.
Motherfucker.
And we get the camera to pan over, and Ansip's face is just ragged and bloody and torn up. He says, I want to remember what they did. And
Yeah.
we'll cut.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
They better have to make
Yeah.
heal
Serves
checks,
him right.
and if they fuck up, he dies, because
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah,
so,
One hit point. No, 10 hit.
yeah. So let's see here. Who do I want to sign off first? I'm gonna have Daniel sign off first tonight.
Oh, that's a me, a Mario. But I'm Daniel or Sassavig Nasty 69. Yo, far traveler, the Romani-esque rogue who felt so useless trapped in that hole. He was like, I searched for any secret doors. No. I opened this lockbox that's gonna be useful inside. uh, but it was fun. Now we have to go talk to a lot of people, and I have to go talk to the captain of the guard as a well appreciated by the guard. At least I'm job secure. Um, yeah, and on Saturdays, is this Saturday Justice Grab Bag? Yeah, because last Saturday was Bluegrass.
Yeah, I think it is.
So if it's, I don't know what he's running. If it's wrestling, I'll be there. If not, I'll probably. And then on the every other Sundays we have Juxtapose Hijinks. Oh, and every other Saturday I have my campaign, Spark of Fate. I'm a little out of order here. Juxtapose, I play Gideon Sunborn, the Ranger from the desert. And then on Tuesdays, Realms of Refuge, I play Susano, the Ranger, who just kind of spent all last session throwing up on a boat because he used to live in caves. So having a moving fucking vehicle underneath him all the time, not a pleasant sensation. But yeah, that's me.
All right. Heracles.
Greetings. My name is Heracles, Defender of the Weak. Accidentally releaser of Stramdex. Yep, not one of his brighter moments. My name is Sarah Smith. You just caught me playing Heracles, the paladin who apparently advances the plot sometime. You can also catch me on Tuesdays playing as Rain, the halfling, or is it gnome? No, gnome.
No.
Everybody knows except me. Playing as the gnome who can't, well, is having like issues of, very, let's just call them flashbacks. Like living in a world that you thought you destroyed. That's not really destroyed. You can also catch me this Saturday running Earth, another timeline, where we will be playing a world that I have created with a bunch of fun things. And this time I do, unlike Tuesday, I do have a plot this time. No, I'm not telling you the plot. I'm just telling you there is a plot. So that's me.
All right, excellent. So, next, let's kick it on over to Brian.
Yes, I'm Brian. I played Hadra today. She's happy to be out of a cave, and now is trying to decide who she should go talk to. Yeah, she'll figure it out by next time. On this Saturday, I will be playing in Sarah Smith's one shot. We'll see how that goes. I play a Dwarven Barbarian amongst all these weird spellcasters. So it should be quite interesting. On Monday, I play Lysin, the strict soldier within the Fire Shrike. And on Tuesdays, I play Althana, the druid wizard. Or the druid. I think she's a wizard because she casts spells all the time. But,
I mean, anyone who casts spells, they're a wizard.
yeah, they're a wizard. Just a different type. A nature wizard. Yeah, that works. And next Friday will be the first stream of Steam and Magic. So it should be interesting. I will have more information about that next week.
Nice. All right. And that brings us to James.
His Pip's an alderman?
Yeah.
Holy shit, well, we got him in the bag. Hey, you fuck, we saved you. Anyways.
No, his Pip is not. No, he's related to Holdry.
Oh.
Holdry
Damn it.
is his Pip's cousin.
Okay, sorry, I just saw the Tinker hand and was like, the plot thickens. Anyway, hi ho, friendolas. My name is James, also known as Nightheart, and you have caught me here today playing Seifel, the cat that is literally not trapped in there anymore, but is literally having a mental breakdown because he just spoke to a very spooky squid man, and he doesn't like calamari. Can also find me here this upcoming Saturday in the one shot as well that Gunner is running, where I will be playing a half elf named Havali or Seer, who is a dancing bard. So that'll be interesting. My goal is to come across another bard who is a dancer and us have a magical dance off. And then I will be complete. You can also find me here sometimes with Just as Grab Bags, though not this week. I'm there for Flesh and Fire, where I play Knowing, and I am also there for whenever we get back to Faulty Comics Presents, where I'll be playing a new character named Glazier. You can also find me on some Saturdays whenever we play A Spark of Fate, where I play Marin Farcaller, the boring old human with a not-so-boring fairy pretending to be a fruit bat named Zam Zam.
I love Zam Zam.
But he's so cute.
Yeah, they're there for. I'm wasting a spell slot on aesthetics. It's cool.
Oh,
That's what the game is all about.
Yeah, it's Fashion Souls.
It's Fashion Souls, yeah.
True end game. You can also catch me here every other Sunday. So not this upcoming Sunday, but the next, where we will be playing Juxtaposed Hijinks, where I play Dagger and Gilded Hand, the Dwarven Inventor. And I am in Mondays in the Fire Shrike, where I finally get back to playing my baby, the good boy, Ezzy, because bad Edzy is Deadsy. And the crew's finally back together. We had some pizza and Chinese food, and I got saved by an angel lady who got really offended about pizza for some reason. It's all good. We're going to finally get our family back together. Now we just need to find out where Shaba fucked off to.
Yay.
And how we can kill all of the Hell Knights. You can also find... I love that cat. Tuesdays, where I am the DM of Realms of Refuge, where they had the biggest clusterfuck of a fight, where it was like 10-15 minutes per turn, because there's two people who can transform and or summon shit. So encounters, in order for them to be challenging, have to be a clusterfuck and a half of just random bad guys, because as I found out, bosses tend to get double crit by the barbarian for 104 damage. But don't worry, there'll come a time when they'll have to do smart boy things, and she is not very smart boy.
She's honest, and that's what counts.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as they slowly approach the end game, and I'm gonna be able to pull out some more emotional scenes and actually do some cool shit rather than just be like, I don't know, you fight flying elves. And yeah, that's me. It's my overly long intro out of the way.
All right, that's an outro. Into the way. My name is Michael Snowsmith. I'll get one for you. Can catch me on Mondays, where I get to play Slef, the lovable rat man who's finally back with his family. Hooray! You can catch me on Tuesdays, where I get to play Tiff, the person who Tiff Libre, the person who just got to be an NPC for a little bit. Hi! You can also catch me on Thursdays, where I run Legacy of Stramdex, where these boys are about to have to go to Capitol Hill. And you can catch me on Fridays, every other Friday, where I am going to be in Steam and Magic as Angus McGillicuddy. He's a pretty fun Trollkin character. And you can catch me on Saturdays with one of my 3 games that I'm going to be a part of. I'm going to be in after a yet-to-be-named and created ghost-busting cleric, so that's going to be really fun. You can catch me whenever we do Justice Grab Bag as either Scorchmark, Beef, or Eastern Bloc, or you can catch me when I'm in Spark of Fate. Oh God, I'm tired. Every other Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. Sorry that we're skipping a week there, folks. I'm also a part of Juxtaposed Hijinks, where I am Linnea Keyless. Oh God, my brain is stretching so hard. Too many characters. I'm starting to replace people in my life with characters whenever you have to remember names. I don't remember my mother's own face anymore. Yeah. You can also, let's see here. I'm Linnea Keyless, the monk water genocide. And you can also catch us on YouTube at youtube.com/Paradise Theater. You can tell I'm breaking down. It's the end of the night for me. You can catch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/pair_o_dice_theater. And you can catch us on Twitter at Pair Theater, PARTHEARTER, for hot memes. Also, I'm That Hoon on Spotify, SoundCloud, I mean. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Can we get an RIP?
Did die.
RIP.
R.I.P. those bandits.
Same thing.